Andy, just your assessment of that game first, please.
Yeah, really disappointed with the result. I'm really disappointed with the manner of some of the tries that we conceded. We're just not learning our lessons. The game's about knocking off sets, kicking well, chasing hard, and trying to dominate those early collisions. And unfortunately tonight, it took us 27 minutes to actually do what we'd practiced and spoken about all week. And lo and behold, we get our rewards on the back of it, which was we get our first good ball set, and then we score off the back of it. But we're just not prepared to do that for long enough. And that's what I touched on at half time. And then unfortunately, we open ourselves up in and around that ruck area. On the tip sheet, we spoke about Parcell and Lytton, and then Parcell goes straight at the back of the ruck, and then we compound it with a back-to-back try, and that has been us for the full season. So we need to fix that really, really quickly. We need to learn that lesson. We've got to keep banging that drum because we've shown that if we get good ball field position, we can score some points, but we're just not doing the tough stuff well enough.
Why is it taking so long, particularly that first half? Like you said, 27 minutes to start doing some of those fundamentals. Individuals making some poor decisions. First set of the game, we try and offload when there's four in the collision. That's down to an individual making that decision, and it's not the right one. And over the course of the first half, there was too many individuals made poor decisions when they needed to just be thinking about, let's get to the end of the set, let's kick, let's try and build a little bit of pressure. So those individuals will be aware of that, and we need to be better next week.
Is there a bit of almost anxiety about trying to force games in your direction as opposed to having that patience and building into it more? Yeah, we need to build our games better. We spoke about knocking off, the first 5 sets. We spoke about kicking well. We spoke about chasing hard. We spoke about controlling the field position battle. And then the couple of occasions where we do actually nail a kick, we just don't get the kick chase right. It's a little bit fractured, and Ethan Ryan or seniors able to just get in between and get the set started for them. So there's some areas that were just a little bit off, and in Super League and at this level, you can't be off. You've got to nail those because it only takes one play, and that's something that we spoke about. Every play is important, and unfortunately we got too many plays wrong this week.
Do you need certain players to step up and take games by the scruff of the neck and lead from the front?
I think it's a team thing. I think there's some individuals and players that, are trying hard. The effort areas are trying hard, but just technically we're a little bit off. Missed tackle here and there. Effort to get there, but just don't do enough to get the body in front and stop the guy scoring. That desperation is needed, and there was occasions in the game today where we just didn't show enough desperation to stop the opposition, posting points, and that's really, really disappointing because we need to be desperate.
Obviously, the defence and the scoreline overshadows the game, but can you take positives from how you executed the tries you did score?
Our offence execution hasn't been a problem. We're just doing way too much defending. And then when we do get the ball back, we're a bit fatigued because of the amount of defending that we've done. And obviously that impacts on your clinicalness and your execution when you do get into those good ball field positions, because the game is all about energy. And what we spoke about is Hull KR have played for the last 2 weeks, real tough 80-minute games, trying to control the energy battle by doing the right thing with the ball, turning over on the right terms and turning over in the right areas. We didn't do it. So it fueled Hull KR's energy, and once they get some energy, they're a very, very dangerous team, and we lost the ruck. And you lose a ruck against a team with Lytton and Parcell, you're going to be on the back foot. So that's a big area that we need to improve for next week.
Billy and Alex on debut, how do you think they went?
Yeah, I thought Billy showed some nice touches, a big frame, was positive, found, some soft shoulders and got himself in between and got some quick play of the ball and found his front well defensively. I thought he moved okay, didn't whack anybody but was solid in that area. And I thought the introduction of Nathan Massey, so Matangi and Billy just before half time got us back into the game, because they actually won the ruck for that period. It was a 10-15 minute period. Unfortunately we weren't able to go on with that. Within 2 minutes of the second half, they scored on a one pass play, in the back of the ruck. So that was really disappointing.
And just on a couple of injuries, how's Liam Watts? What's his issue?
Oh, he just went off with a head bang at the end. It's not a HIA, but obviously he went down with a head, so he got the green card, so he had to spend 2 minutes off the field.
And Riley Dean, I think of the same sort of challenge, looked like he was holding an arm or a dog.
Oh, I don't know. I've not been in the changing rooms and spoke to the physios with regard to that.
Cheers.
No worries.
You spoke about a lack of resilience after the whole game. Was it similar tonight? It's the same kind of game, wasn't it? With the back try stuff like that.
Yeah, it was. Same sort of game. It's been the sort of like story of the season, unfortunately for us. Just not able to stay in the ground for long enough. What we do is show lack of patience when we're in the ground with the ball to try and force an issue, or we don't defend with enough steel, and they find a way to obviously get the scoreboard ticking over in their favour. So, it's something that we need to fix, and we need to fix quickly.
How do you remedy something like a lack of resilience or a lack of belief? How do you go about?
Right, well, practice. You've got to practice, and we'll have an honest review with them tomorrow, and some of the guys will hold themselves accountable to some of their efforts and some of the things that they did. You try and replicate a little bit that in training, but it's difficult at this time of year to replicate what we need in training, because we need to be comfortable going for 30 minutes set for set with a team. But at the moment, within 15 minutes, we've got bored of it, and that's what's really, really killing us. We need to have a little bit more pride, a little bit more steel about us, and a little bit more belief in sticking to that process and going set for set with teams. Because if you do, we know that we're capable of posting points, but we've just got to believe in that process for a little bit longer than we're currently doing.
As a team, your character will be questioned after another defeat like that. Do you feel like you've got enough characters in that group to get you out of this hole?
I certainly hope so. There's some big personalities in there, and they're disappointed changing room and disappointed with the manner of the performance and aspects of the performance. The week practice, we got a good message across to them. The preview was good. It's about delivering on game day, and unfortunately, the last couple of weeks we haven't delivered on game day, and that's pressure. And I think we need some of our senior blokes, to deal with that pressure of game day a little bit better than they're currently doing. And we'll certainly be asking them to do that moving forward.
Is it down to personal pride as well as pride in the badge?
Well, 100%. Every time you take to the field, you should be busting your absolute balls to give your absolute best, and working hard to be competitive and push up on every play and make every tackle that you're involved in. And that message has been rammed on to the boys. We're in a desperate moment. They need to give the absolute best and stay together. It's a disappointing changing room. We're hurting, but we know that we've got to carry on fighting. I think the introduction of the new guys today will help us, and I'm certainly looking forward to obviously watching Chabelle and Liam in practice. They've got some intent and some energy and desire about them after speaking with them, so I'm hoping that they bring that to the team.